Have you been trying to figure out who owns what fence? Stick around for the hot list and more to come on that shortly. What's going on, guys? Matt in the hat, Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. You are tuned in to the hot list. I come to y'all Monday through Friday around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. We hang out for a little while. We talk, we chat, I answer your questions. We talk about a property that is new to the market, been on the market, had some type of recent price reduction, as well as something that is unique about the property that I want to share and want y'all to know. I also answer a question of the day that is submitted by you, the viewers. So make sure you keep those coming and keep tuning in. Also, we think a sponsor of the week each and every week. This week is no different, and I am looking forward to and excited about this week's sponsor. So let's get right into it. As you guys come in here, if you are catching this live or on the replay, make sure you comment hashtag live, hashtag replay. I would greatly appreciate it. Make sure you also like, share this out, tag somebody that could benefit from this, because the best way that I can help people continue to educate people like I am is by y'all liking, sharing this out. If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up button down below, hit subscribe as well. While you're right there by that subscribe button, turn on the notifications so each and every time I drop a video, you guys get notified and you can come check out the newest content. So the property we are talking about today, the address is 2053 Huntington Road, right here in Emporia. Now this one is a little bit different. This one's going to throw y'all off. This is a 2-bed, 3-bath, and it has an attached 2-car garage. So this is a ranch style house. I mentioned it has an attached 2-car garage, has 1,984 square feet of finished space, currently listed at $179,900, courtesy of Farm and Home Real Estate. So with this ranch style house, it does have a basement in. There are tons of space throughout the house, huge backyard. What I love about the master suite is very cool, has his and hers sinks and has a jacuzzi tub. How cool is that? Now, I know I was throwing y'all off with the 2-bed from the get-go. There is a third non-conforming bedroom in the basement, could be used as a guest bedroom. There's a combination of hardwood and tile throughout the house. Looks very beautiful, very amazing, and plenty of countertop space as well as kitchen cabinet space. So click on the link and go take a look at that. It's going to take you right to my website so you can take a look for yourself. House is very cool, absolutely amazing, and can't wait to put eyes on it myself. Before I get to the question of the day, I do want to thank this week's sponsor, and this week's sponsor is My Town Media right here in Emporia. You guys know that I've had a close working relationship with them in the past, and they agreed to be a sponsor this week, and I'm truly grateful for having them be a sponsor. If you guys have an event that is coming up you have an event coming up, you want to advertise, not sure where to start, make sure that you give the station a call. Just call 620-343-6144. Again, 620-343-6144. And they will gladly help you out. They just helped me and one of my organizations, Lyon County Boosters, most recently advertise and promote for our Bowling for Businesses event. They did an absolutely phenomenal job, and I cannot thank them enough. So if you guys need help advertising for an event or maybe even your business, make sure you give the station a call. Again, 620-343-6144. And they will get you taken care of. I promise y'all. All right. Question of the day. I do like that the questions I've been getting over this month have all in some way, shape, or form been directly related to me. I know not purposely, but it's something that I have gone through or recently gone through, so I find that hilarious. Um, and this one's going to be no different. How do I figure out who owns the fence? Now, when it comes to this, is there any issue that is more challenging for neighbors than trying to figure out who owns the fence or who owns which part of the fence? There have been fewer spats, quarrels, beefs, fights that have been started over property line disputes than this. I have no doubt about that, because many people typically have so much better relationships with their neighbors than others. Let's be honest. It just comes with the territory. And there's still something to be said for having a good fence, because fences add curb appeal as well as functionality. We all know that fences are great for children, grandchildren, as well as pets, to keep them from being too free range, I guess. And yet there are times that fences do need to be updated, removed, or replaced. I can tell you that from personal experience. Now, these can be there can be times neighbors find themselves in conflict with one another over who owns the fence. It may seem kind of odd because the fence is usually already there when people move in. For example, when Lisa and I moved into our house, there were two fences already in place. There was a fence to the north that actually belongs to the neighbor, and there is a fence to the east, that also belongs to the neighbor. Now, we did install, when we first moved here, we installed two fences, one to the south and one to the west. But this brought up the question is, how do you know which property belongs to you? Where is your property line? So we're going to talk about three things to consider when you're trying to figure out who owns the fence. Number one is going to be figuring out ownership. First and foremost, speaking from experience, before you start tearing down, adding, expanding an existing fence, I would recommend figuring out if you have a legal ownership to that fence. Doing this first can save you a whole lot of headache and probably money out of your wallet as well. And we'll get into some reasons why. Because oftentimes, if your neighbors are friendly and you have good rapport with them, good relationship with them, they can become not so friendly the moment that you start to tear down a fence that they own or that's on their property. Because this may cause further conflict if you start taking down a fence and you tear up their garden. You start to tear up or encroach on their shed, other plant life. So I would recommend determining ownership before you even begin a fence project. By not clearing things up beforehand, you may ruin the relationship you have with the neighbors, kind of like I mentioned, possibly going as far as getting police or lawyers involved. Number two, neighborly conversation. And sometimes that's all it's going to take is a neighborly conversation, because one of the first things you should do if you are unsure of where the property line is or who owns that fence, just go talk to your neighbor. All you got to do is just walk over, knock on the door, and just have that conversation. Explain what type of work that you want to do, what needs to be done, and ask them if they know who owns the property. If the property is on your side, the neighbor more than likely will know and would tell you, because they would obviously want you to do the work, at least in my mind. Now, if it's on theirs, see if they are open to updating or replacing the fence, or maybe if it's something you want done, just look at splitting the cost with it, because this gives you an opportunity to talk about anything that may be on that fence or close to that fence that they may be concerned of and don't want damage. We talked about plants as well as animals. Maybe they have a dog pen or some type of animal pen that they don't want encroached on or destroyed and have there for a reason. And of course, finally, number 3, checking that property line. Hopefully the conversation with your neighbor ends well. Everything is sorted out. You get all the answers that you need, and you can proceed forward or not proceed forward based on that conversation. Other times, you may need to have a survey done in order to find out where that fence lies. Maybe your neighbor, because like I mentioned, that fence is already there. So if that neighbor moved in about the same time or shortly before you did, they may not know if that fence is theirs or if it's yours. You don't know if it was disclosed on there or there's any documents to support who that fence belongs to. By getting a surveyor involved, they can ensure where the property line is. They can ensure that it's clearly marked and show how it runs, the dimensions, and maybe even paint or mark off some lines. Once you have the surveyor come out, this may clear things up based on where the property line is. It may be obvious, and so then you can tell whose property line that fence falls on. Other cases, the fence may straddle that property line and may start on your side of the property, but may move to the neighbor's side of the property, depending on how it goes and how it's laid out as well. And this can also help, back to that conversation with the neighbor, as well as you do have the option, if the surveyor may know as well, you can consult the deed, maybe even call the Register of Deeds. Regardless of the result, at least you're going to find out where the line falls, and you can continue moving forward. Now, why is all of that important? Here's a great example. I mentioned that when we moved in, there was a fence to the east, and it was actually the neighbor's fence. For a number of years, I owned a bird dog. He was a German short hair, and he was big. He was built like a machine, and he was dumber than a box of shit. He was an incredible dog, incredibly stupid, because he was built for speed, and he was built for strength. He was about 75 pounds, and on more than one occasion, running through a field, he would clip me from behind and just drop me, because he was that quick and he was that powerful. Well, he's a bird dog, so if he sees movement or he gets something in that nose, he's gonna go after it. And on more than one occasion, he smelled something and saw something in my neighbor's yard, and on more than one occasion, he ran through the wooden privacy fence. I'm gonna say that again. He ran through the wooden privacy fence. And because he did that, I went over and I had a conversation with the neighbor, asked him whose fence it was. Was it in fact his? Was it mine? Because I didn't know. And I also, because I wanted to start that conversation early, because my dog ran through the fence and destroyed those panels. So my dog, my fault, my problem. So I informed him what I wanted to do. Hey, my dog ran through the fence. I want to fix some panels before I just walk into your backyard and you see me out there wondering what the hell I'm doing. This is what I want to do. This is why. Are you okay with me paying for these panels that my dog broke to correct the fence integrity? Turns out, he was okay with me paying the money to repair the fence that my dog damaged. Again, I was 100% okay with that because my dog ran through his fence. By having that conversation beforehand, we didn't have to get police involved when he sees me, technically trespassing on his property. And I didn't know what really was on the other side and what I had to work with. It didn't look like anything, but you always like to have those conversations beforehand. That way it's an easier conversation, and you can continue that neighborly relationship and not cause conflict and then cause drama down the road, because nobody likes drama, nobody enjoys drama. So just keep being neighborly, and like Will Ferrell says, ELE, everybody love everybody, right? That easy. So that's what I got for you guys in the hot list. So thank you for tuning in to the hot list with Matt in a Hat. Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have an awesome Monday, and I look forward to seeing you in here tomorrow.